Good things come to women who sweat. Whether your 2019 goal is to lose weight, gain strength, or make significant lifestyle changes, Spa Ladies Women's Only Fitness Centers will help you achieve the body you've always wanted. Shape up and burn those unwanted areas off with unlimited group classes like Zumba, HIIT, yoga, and barre. For a limited time, enroll on select memberships and save 50% off for the first 8 weeks. Save money, get fit, and crush 2 resolutions at once. To learn more, visit one of Spa Lady's 8 Alberta locations or go to spalady.ca for details.
Blog Talk Radio.
Well, welcome back to Divas That Care Network. My name is Candace Gish, and I am the host of this program. Oh, my goodness, I'm very excited for all of you that have just tuned in for the very first time, and welcome back to all of our past listeners. We're really excited. It's 2019, everyone, and we have a great show for you today. I'm really excited. 2018 was such a fantastic year. We had so many amazing divas come into our family. We had some fantastic shows. It was so much fun, and 2019 is just going to be just as great, if not better. We have a lineup of great divas coming onto our show, and today we have our newest diva, and I'm going to welcome her to our family. Her name is Sarah Hackley, and Sarah is going to be talking about some fantastic things that she's doing and a little bit about herself too. So I'm going to get the show started. So Sarah, welcome to the Divas That Care.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited to have you, too. It's going to be so much fun. Sarah and I had a few minutes to chat before the show, and, she's going to – I think you have a lot of things that you can really share with our divas today. And so I just want you to – if you could spend a few minutes, Sarah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am an author. I have a couple of books out. I'm also a poet. And I'm the editor for Absolute Love Publishing, as well as a freelance editor. I'm also the controller for a group of healthcare clinics, and I'm the mom of 2, and a wife, friend. Like most modern women today, I just wear a whole bunch of hats.
Yes, you do. Oh, my goodness. You're a jack of all trades, aren't you?
Yeah. I think my mother would attest to that. I went to, 9 different universities before I finally graduated with 2 different degrees. So, I do like to have my hand in a bunch of different stuff all at once.
Well, and I love that because
life is just really exciting.
Exactly, and life is short, and you want to learn as many things as you can in the short time that we do have here. You know what? I completely relate to that, Sarah. I have that's something that I've always done too. It's try different things and do different things, and it's really cool to talk to somebody like myself.
Yeah, it can be hard to really narrow down when you have that many interests and figure out exactly what it is that you want to do, especially when you're somebody like me, who I've always wanted to make an impact. I've always wanted to do something to help other people, and it took me a long time to figure out how I was going to do that. So now I do that in a couple of different ways with my kids, of course, because starting out at home is, I think, a really important part of making an impact on the world. And with my own writing, and then with helping shape the writing of others, and then also helping small business owners really launch their businesses too. So I do make an impact in those ways, but I think when you very first start and you're very young and you're very curious and you're really interested in everything, it can take a while to find your few niches, even if there's 5 of them, as opposed to 50.
Yes, exactly. So what made you decide to become an author? I find that always interesting when I talk to authors. But I want to know why you decided to become one.
It wasn't a choice I ever made, actually. I was born writing. I started writing stories as soon as I could hold a crayon. I wrote my first autobiography at 6. I got published. My first poem, I won a national competition when I was 15. So I've always written. That's always something that I knew I wanted to do. Mostly just because it's always somebody I was. I just was always a writer. And even today when I'm doing a bunch of other things, if I'm not doing enough of that, I start feeling less like myself. And know I have to get back into really nourishing that part of me.
Well, and it's amazing because I talk to artists too, and that's how they express themselves. And you're just expressing yourself in this way. And we all have those different types of outlets, and I just love it because it kind of brings me into the question that I had about you. You wrote a book called Finding Happiness with Migraines, a do-it-yourself guide. Tell me a little bit about that, because that's an interesting title, and I'm wondering if it has to do with some things possibly in your life.
Yeah, well, so I actually had a really long bout of intractable migraine, and that's when you have a migraine attack that doesn't go away. And so I actually had a period of that in high school, but I didn't know that I had migraines. I just thought when somebody said they had a headache, I thought that horrible, horrible collection of symptoms is what everybody was talking about. And it wasn't until I was in my 20s and had a second intractable period and finally went to some doctors that I found out that, oh, no, that's not what these other people are having. So I had a migraine attack that didn't go away for just over 2 years. And I went to specialist after specialist after specialist. I went to neurologists, I went to ENTs, I went to pain management, I went to holistic doctors. I went all over the place. And nobody, they gave me treatments and they gave me medicines and they gave me, I started meditating, I did a ton of yoga, I did all kinds of different stuff, and nothing really worked. Especially being in the medical community, a lot of the stuff that they were telling me, as I got further and further into it, I started feeling more and more removed from myself. And somebody else was telling me what my experiences were. And I don't feel like that's how you should ever feel. I always feel like we need to be very embodied and feel like we are the experts of our own body. And that's one of the things I say, I think in that book or in another one of my books, I have said that over and over again. You are the expert of your body. And I didn't feel like that. So I started taking, and I wouldn't recommend this is not medical advice to other people, but I started doing less of the doctor's appointments, and I started taking less of the medication, and I started trying to really tune back into what my body was telling me, and I made a bunch of lifestyle changes. And I also made a lot of mental shifts just in what I had expected life to be, and then versus what life had come to be. But that didn't mean it couldn't be fun, and I couldn't have any joy. And I felt like I needed to reclaim that, and then I needed to show other people that might be in that same position, and or even not with migraine attacks, but even with a different kind of chronic illness, that you can still have a really fantastic life. You can still have an impact. You can still be worthwhile. You can still have a lot of fun. And most of that is about reclaiming that part of your health and making choices for you in conjunction with doctors or in conjunction with whoever you're working with. But I really wanted to bring it back to the patient and give them that self-empowerment piece based on the stuff that I had come up with, because I started feeling a lot better after I did that. So I just wanted to share that with other people. So it's kind of like a quick 5-step plan for that.
Oh, I love that. Wow. That's very, very awesome. I'm just listening to you. I'm just in awe because, for myself too, it's funny that you're saying that, because I've had, crazy headaches and stuff over time, and I was like, okay, they must be like a stress, or it must be something else, and I thought, okay, what do I need to do to relax and release that stress? But I like that you have put a book together about that, because it's finding that happiness and dealing with what life deals you, and finding maybe the good in a bad situation, perhaps.
Yeah, and that's also, I write for several communities online, and I have a blog about that too. And all of my stuff, I have a couple other chronic illness things that I deal with, and all of my writing in that arena, all of my advocacy in that arena is all about, yes, this is happening to you. Yes, if you're going through this, but look, it's not all bad. Like there's some silver linings, and also there's some really great things that you get out of those experiences that maybe you just need to look at a little differently. I'm not saying it's a wonderful thing that anybody would want to have, but just there's a different perspective you can take to really still feel like you are maybe living the best life you can still live.
It's all about that mind frame, isn't it?
It is. Perspective is everything.
Yes, and I can see that because sometimes I've run across individuals that they just have the most amazing attitudes. They're always happy-go-lucky. They're very, they take things as they come. But I know that they've been dealt with some hard blows in their lives, and some things that are very challenging, and that I'm like, oh my goodness, how are you doing this? But they're like, you know what? They just take it. It's like, okay, that's they want to live their life to the fullest. And I've always said that. It's like I want to live my life to the fullest, the best that I can do each and every day, and be the best person I can be. And I like that because really, that's what we're here for. We can't always control the things around us, but if we can make the best out of it, then why not?
Absolutely. There's a writer that I love from the 1950s that, in the 1940s, I believe, that said, our greatest ambition, our greatest accomplishment should be to birth the best version of ourselves, basically. I'm paraphrasing, but that's always what I've thought. I've thought that is our job on here, is to love on earth, is to love everybody as much and as well as we can, and then to create the best versions of ourselves that we can create.
Yeah, I love that because I think that too. So do you do a lot of wellness coaching with individuals at all?
I do some. I actually, and this is a funny thing, I started a health coaching program. I was going to actually get a wellness coach certificate because I do a lot of coaching with authors, and so I do a lot of writing coaching, and I wanted to extend that since I am a health journalist and I write so much about wellness. So I joined this health coaching program, but ultimately I found it wasn't for me because I didn't feel like their positive mindset, it didn't mesh with mine. It was so much more about, hey, you can fix this, and this shouldn't be an issue. Like, you can just, it was all about, like, you do this one thing and you'll be better. And I think that is maybe overly optimistic, and also that's just not the place I like to go. I like to go more with whatever it is, maybe we can't fix it, but that doesn't mean you can't be the best you. So I just have a different
philosophy,
a different track. Yeah, and so I do work with people, but I don't quite call it wellness coaching, only because there are wellness coaches that have a different philosophy than me.
I think it's great, and we need that. To be honest, Sarah, we need as many individuals with different mindsets as we can out there, because not every person is going to relate to another. And if we have lots of people doing great things and we're locking arms and we're supporting each other, then we're going to help so many people out there.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. It takes all kinds to help all kinds.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so now I'm going to dive into your editing. You and I have a lot of actually friends in common now through Absolute Publishing. And I want you to tell us a little bit about that, because you're doing some fantastic stuff with this company. And I want to talk about your editing and how people, because we do have a lot of our listeners that are wanting to be authors. Can you tell a little bit about what you do and how you can help people?
Yeah. One of the things I will say, I absolutely love being an editor. I love working with Absolute Love Publishing. The publisher and I have been really good friends for a long time, and it's been wonderful creating this company in this publishing house with her. One of my favorite things about editing is I feel, and I can say this as an author too, because they're both arts. They're both different art forms. Writing is one art form, and editing done well is its own art form. And one of the things I love doing with my authors is helping them see and visualize even visualize a finished product that's even better than they thought it could be. And as an author myself, we always think, we have this grand scheme in our head, or this grand vision of what we want this book to be. And as an author, you always feel like you don't quite measure up to it. You never quite get it where you thought you wanted it to be. But as an editor, I come in and I go, okay, yeah, that is a great vision. Here's how it's even bigger. Here's how it can even be better than you thought it could be. And here's how we do that. And then I get to help them bring this amazing world or mindset into the world. Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, it's their vision for reality in a way. And I love helping them share that in a magnified way with the rest of the world. It just makes me really happy.
Oh my goodness, yes. And you've done so many amazing things out there, and the authors are fantastic. We've had a lot of them on our show, and we've had the publisher on our show, and I just love it. I love this Absolute Love. Absolute Love Publishing is just an amazing organization, and I love it because they do so many great things. There's so many positive things out there, and you've got that magazine that just came out. And
yes.
Were you an editor in that also?
Yes, I did edit the pieces, and I actually am in it too. I wrote an article about gratitude in relationships.
Oh my goodness. So how can a person, because I love that, and we were very honored because Divas That Care has an article in there also. So can you tell us how our listeners can get a copy of that?
I believe you can just go to the Absolute Love Publishing store. So if you go to absolutelovepublishing.com, all of our products are available through there, and I think that's the best way to get the magazine at this point.
Perfect. And then you can see some of the things that Sarah has done. Because
yes, two of my books, the migraine book and the finance book for women trying to leave abusive partners is on there, and then all of our wonderful novels and nonfiction books from all of our other authors are on there as well.
Oh, perfect. Did you want to share with our listeners today about preparing to fly financial freedom from domestic abuse? Is that something you'd like to chat about today too?
I think it overall, that book took me many, many years to write, mostly because I had to be in a place to write it. I don't think when you're doing books, when you're writing books that you want to really contribute to someone else, you really want to help other people, you have to get to a spot where you can remove yourself from the situation that you were in that brought you to the lessons you learned that you're trying to share. So it took me many years before I could actually write and finish this book, but I was very proud of it. I am very proud of it. It's helped a lot of people, and it just goes over that theme that I think also is with my chronic illness work, and that's just self-empowerment. I just want people, whatever your circumstances, I feel like as individuals and as part of the divine world that we live in, it is our birthright to be self-empowered. We have have all the tools and we have all the rights to do and be as much as we want to be in this world, as much as we can be. And so all of my writings, all of my work has tried to take pieces of my life where I've struggled with that and then reclaimed that piece for myself and helped and tried to spread those lessons to other people who might also be trying to reclaim that sense of empowerment that maybe they lost through different things, whether it was illness or relationships or other kinds of losses.
I think that's beautiful, Sarah. I think that's absolutely beautiful. And what I'm going to do is that for any of our listeners, I'm going to be posting about her books on all of our social media today so that you can go out and check them out. You can also share them with your friends and family because I really love her story. I love what Sarah is offering and sharing with all of us today. Oh, this is fantastic, Sarah. I love it. Thank you so much for all that you're doing out there. In regards to you're doing some other editing on the side, if we have some listeners today or, in the future that are going to be listening to these recorded calls, can they get a hold of you? How can they get a hold of you? They would like you to look at their stuff and perhaps hire you to edit their works.
I'm pretty easily found on different social platforms, but the easiest way to contact me is my website, which is just www.sarahhackley.com, and that's 2 H's in a row there. But I have links to some of my work. I have links to the manuscript reviews I do for people, and I just have a variety of things on there. But that's absolutely the best way to get a feel for me and to get in touch with me.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely beautiful. And last thing I just want to share with you or ask you is that you were a contributor to the Women's Studies bestseller, Women Will Save the World. Women Will Save the World. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I think that's a beautiful title.
That was actually our publisher's, that was her vision, and it was wonderful. It was actually it wasn't our first collaboration that we did. We had a couple other collaborations that we did, but that one was a vision that she had based on a quote that Gandhi said, and we wanted to put together a compilation of stories by women that showcase the unique strengths that women bring to the world and the unique ways that we help shape it and, really turn it into something magical and wonderful. And so we have, we organized the book around those different kinds of strengths. And it was a fascinating project to work on. I loved working with all of the women that we worked with on that. We had singers and Olympic gymnasts and we had all kinds of people in that compilation. And it was also a really good time for me. I was also a contributor to that, and in addition to editing the entire book. But my piece came at a time I had just lost my mother unexpectedly. I was young, though not as young as some. I was still in my mid-20s, and I'd lost my mother very out of the blue and prematurely. And writing that gave me a way to work through that loss in a way that, again, I was trying to turn into something positive, to give somebody else who might also be struggling with the same thing some kind of positive message out of that, a way to grow through that loss.
I think that's beautiful. And we're going to be sharing that book too, because I love books like that. I love books that inspire other women to do other things, right? I'm all about the inspiration, and thank you so much. You are such a beautiful soul, and it's been a pleasure chatting with you today, Sarah. Is there any last-minute things you'd love to share with our divas today?
I think I would just say that, I think we're all bigger than we think we are. I think women in general, we all tend to minimize some of the things we're doing, or maybe a lot of the things we're doing, whether it's from raising our children to, raising up a company to being an artist. Anything that we're doing, I feel like we're so used to making that less of a big deal than it is. But I want to give women the and I'm hoping, I believe based on your show that you probably agree with this too, I want women to have the permission to be as big as we are, and to not only claim that magnificence, but really amplify it so as other women can amplify theirs, and we can bring up the vibrations and the energies and the just the souls of everybody that we come into contact with. So I just want to say, I want everybody to have permission to be as big as they feel they can be.
Oh, I love it, Sarah. You are an inspiration, and you have empowered us all today. And I want to thank you so much for coming on our show and being the dynamic diva that you are. And welcome to our diva family.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here, and I thank you again for taking the time to have me on the show.
Well, it was my pleasure, and I know that you weren't feeling the best today. And Sarah, you are just, as I said, you're so inspirational, and I really loved what you shared with us today, and I hope that you will come back on our show again in the future.
I would love to. I hope you have a wonderful 2019. I see great things in store for a lot of people.
Oh, well, we wish you all the best in 2019 also. And I want to take a moment to thank all of our amazing divas out there that are tuning into our show and that have been supportive of our Divas That Care movement. We appreciate each and every one of you. We thank you so much. It's because of you that we continue to do this show for the last over 8 years now. And we want to thank you very much. If you would love to share these shows with your friends and family, please check out our website at divasthatcare.com. You can also check out our divas on iTunes and SoundCloud. We have all of our shows uploaded on those too. So I wish everybody a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and please make sure to do something to pay it forward. It's all about kindness, everyone, and we hope that, well, anyways, we will talk to you all soon. Thank you again, Sarah, and thank you to all of our divas. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Good things come to women who sweat. Whether your 2019 goal is to lose weight, gain strength, or make significant lifestyle changes, Spa Ladies Women's Only Fitness Centers will help you achieve the body you've always wanted. Shape up and burn those unwanted areas off with unlimited group classes like Zumba, HIIT, yoga, and barre. For a limited time, enroll on select memberships and save 50% off for the first 8 weeks. Save money, get fit, and crush 2 resolutions at once. To learn more, visit one of Spa Lady's 8 Alberta locations or go to spalady.ca for details.